Hello everyone and welcome back to Higher Learning Test Prep's online video tutorial series. Today we're going to be taking a look at this geometry question sent to us by Megan. Megan wanted to know if there was an easier way to do this question than the way she had initially done it. So let's take a look. In the figure above, L is parallel to M. This little guy means parallel. Which of the following must be equal to 180? Okay, so first thing that Megan said she did was look at the most obvious sets that add up to 180, like S, R, and P. Because as we can see here, S, R, and P all add up to a straight line, which is 180 degrees. She also saw the same thing for R, P, and T, the straight line L, which is 180 degrees. So R plus P plus T plus T. Okay. Also, K plus P plus N, because they're the interior angles of a triangle, all add up to 180 degrees. So those are the three most obvious ones. We have the two straight lines, and then we have the interior angles of the triangle. The other thing that Megan came up with was that using the Z rule, there's a couple of other equivalent angles. So just in case you don't remember, if two lines are parallel, line 1 and line 2 are parallel, then the interior angles here and here are equal. They're both equal to the same thing. We'll call it x. So if we look at a couple of sets here, T and N are the same. They're the interior angles of the Z made right here. Swoop. Okay. So T and N are interchangeable. That means where we see an N, we could just put a T in. Where you see a T, you can put an N in. Also, R and K are also Z rule equivalents. So that means every time I see an R, I can put a K. Here's an R, I can put a K here, or a K here, or I could put an R in the place of this K. Well, this is kind of confusing at this point, what's going on here. There's a lot of information, and then we have to go down here and sort of figure out what's going on, seeing if any of these equivalents up here are matching any of the stuff we have going on in this mess up here. There's a better way to do this question, and that is to assign values to these variables in here. For instance, if we know K, P, and N are interior angles of a triangle all adding up to 180, I could call them 50, 60, and 70. K is 50 and 60, P is 70. I made those up, but there's nothing to tell me that I can't pick those numbers. Now, what I can also say, because we know the Z rule, if N is 60, then T is also 60. So here's our 60. And in a couple ways, we can tell that R is now 50, both by the Z rule and by the fact that it's a straight line with P and T. So all three of those must add up to 180. Now, S must be 60 because of the straight line here. Since we've already assigned the 50 and the 60, S must then be, or the 50 and the 70, this must be 60. So we've assigned values for all of our variables. Now we can just go down and add them up and see what works. So K plus N plus R. K is 50 plus N is 60, so we're looking for 70. But R is only 50, so that doesn't work. Okay? B says K 50 plus P, which is 70. We're looking for 60. S is 60, so that works. These other ones will not work. So, of course, there's other ways of doing this problem, but the simplest, clearest way is to take out all this junk about which variables are equal to each other and all this nonsense, and to use your knowledge of geometric rules to assign values, different values, for all of these variables that are related to each other. Once you've done that, then you're just doing some basic arithmetic, adding up 50, 60, and 70, or 50 plus 60 plus 60, and knowing that that's not 180. So, easiest way to do it, picking numbers. What do you know? Give us a shout if you have any other questions at all. We'd be happy to help. HigherLearningTestPrep.com. Best of luck with all of your studying.